Ashley,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
before we roll off into this next one here, what do you think about the Ukraine war?
Well, that's a big question. Jeez. I think
Already.
I think it I think it's something we shouldn't be involved in. I think that we've spent so much money on a war that we're supposedly not fighting that I don't know, we could have solved homelessness in this country like 5 times over or some crazy nonsense. Like I think it's a farce.
$200 billion. It was bigger than I
Mhm.
thought it was.
God, that's so much. And it's actually hard to get those numbers. Like when you go try to find, like because it's just they off what is the word I'm looking for? Obfuscate. They make it very convoluted, very hard to track, and there's a million different. You know what I mean? They'll be like, if you go and search how much money has the U.S. given to Ukraine, it's just all these differing numbers and stuff, and it drives me insane. But
Well,
yeah, no, I think there's something nefarious there, kind of under the surface, and I think we're about pretty close to World War III. But other than that, I'm not super duper well versed on global politics. So there's that.
well, let's get into this one because Joseph says people are dying and there's no reason to kill them. What else is there to say? I agree. From both sides, I agree with that. But from throughout this entire thing, we've been told, Russia has invaded Ukraine for no reason. They're just trying to take land from them to build up the Soviet Union again. First of all, number one, that's not true. Number two, you have to look into what Ukraine was doing to their own citizens because they were saying we believe we're Russian. This land was taken from Russia during the fall of the Soviet Union. We want to be part of Russia, and the Ukrainian army moved in and started shelling them with munitions. They were shelling their own people, kind of saying, do you want to be Russian now or do you want to be Ukrainian? That did happen. We did incite a kind of a revolution over there, if you want to call it that, and installed a puppet president. And now we are in this war with this. And the leaked documents are incredibly surprising because it points out a lot of the lies from the media and everything that we've been talking about with this war. Let's see this. I am on the right tab. I want to point this out. And I hit this in a video that I did. I'm sorry, I had like 2-3 hours worth of recording and I cut it down as far as I could. It was like 41 minutes long. But this comes from the New York Times. This was back on April 6th of 2023. Ukraine war plans leak prompts Pentagon investigation. It says Washington classified war documents detailing secret American NATO plans for building up the Ukrainian military ahead of a planned offensive against Russian troops were posted this week on social media channels. The Pentagon is investigating who may have been behind the leak of the documents. They've already got the dude, which appeared on Twitter and Telegram, a platform with more than 500 million users that is widely available in Russia. I want to point that out for you guys because they're trying to do it in a sneaky way. They're saying, oh, this appeared on Twitter and Telegram. It's Russian disinformation because Russia has access to Twitter. Mind-blowing facts right there. But yeah, the military analyst document says it appears to have been modified in certain parts from the original format, overstating American estimates of Ukrainian war dead and understating the estimates of Russian troops killed. The modifications could point to an effort of disinformation by Moscow, the analyst said. See? But the disclosures in the original document, which appear as photographs of charts and anticipated weapons deliveries, troop battalion and strengths, and other plans to represent a significant breach of American intelligence in the effort to aid Ukraine. Okay. Y'all can go on and read that. They're just trying to justify how this is Russian disinformation and you don't listen to them, you listen to the government kind of situation. But I wanted to highlight that to kind of let you guys know, like on the slide, they were trying to say this is Russian disinformation because they have access to Twitter, which is insane. to even try to go that far to make that point. The fact that the modifications, it appears to be modified. No, those were 100% real. Okay, there was no modification involved, and from leaked Pentagon papers predicted Ukrainians' air defenses will be exhausted by May 23rd, leaving Putin to free to send in fighter jets, as it's feared the latest $2 billion in U.S. aid won't be enough to save Zelensky's army. Okay. In this article, they tell you that we have sent $200 billion over to Ukraine, and they're losing the war.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like both. I don't know. I feel like these people don't know how to war. Like, that's a very ignorant statement that I just said, and I fully acknowledge that. But like, it has been so long at this point, and I feel like nothing has changed. Like, nothing has really happened. It's just a whole lot of money being poured into Ukraine, and it's just very strange. Have they actually like gone like Russia has Russia actually captured any major cities like within the last like year?
It's been back and forth. I think it was the Donbass region and the Kursk region or something like that. That they've taken control of. They lost. They took control. They lost. Same with Kiev. I think that happened a few times in there. But what did I click on? Because that went. There we go. Okay. But yeah, in this article here, I wanna at least find out, kind of give a rundown here. Where is it of the amount that the document is saying here, and I kind of want to touch on a few other things. Where was it? But anyway, it's like something about. No, it's further down. I'll find it real quick and I'll get back to you on that. But yeah, it's kind of funny that we've sent $200 billion over there, and it's been reported that only 30% of that money is reaching the front lines. Everything else is going to back channels. You know, how did their parliament vote for them to get a 70% raise? How did some of our Congress people?
We're getting raises at times of war. That seems super normal.
70% raise for every single one of them. Yes. You know, how did some of our Congress people, here it is, but how did some of our Congress people's net worth jump roughly around 100 million around that time as well? You know, it's questions like that that just kind of make you wonder what's happening. We sent $200 billion. What is it being used for? If they're going to be defenseless by around May 23rd, and the $2 billion that we just sent in munitions and everything is still not going to be enough.
Yeah.
But it says the charts and graphs describe some of the battlefield status of both sides from a month ago. U.S. military movements during the previous 24 hours. I thought we didn't have boots on the ground. That I will bring that up as well. Personnel numbers and the local weather outlook. I don't even understand why you got to bring the local weather outlook into this, because every news station gives you that. But there are errors, according to them. Under a section titled Total Assessed Losses, one document lists 16 to 17,500 Russian casualties and up to 71,000 Ukrainian casualties. Okay, that's what they're saying is the part that's made up, because we've been telling everybody it's hundreds of thousands of people have died. Hundreds of thousands of people have died in this. Yeah, you also have civilians and everything. I get you. However, if you look at that record where they stopped reporting that somewhere around 120, 130,000, that's about where they're starting to max out the military as far as the Ukrainian numbers. And then they stopped reporting the death. So hundreds of thousands of people are dying in this war, but yet Ukraine has no military now because we keep lying about the numbers and upping the numbers. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, there was that part in there. The question I seriously have with all this, and this is what really gets to me, is what was it? This one? Yeah. share this tab. Do you all remember when Ukraine fired missiles into Poland and he was screaming, Russia's attacking other countries, NATO go, we need to attack now, don't ask questions. Do y'all remember any of that? Are they wasting our ammunition? Are they wasting our rockets and missiles and everything? Because even if 30% of that 200 billion was to hit the front line, that's $60 billion. You know how many rockets and missiles and everything $60 billion could buy for you? How is your air defenses going to be exhausted by the end of this month? Or no, by the end of next month? How is that a thing?
We can only guess. And I feel like we all probably know what's going on there. Using it as a big laundromat.
Well, considering we had Joe Biden over there saying if you don't fire the prosecutor, I'm not going to give you the $1 billion. That little quid pro quo, 25 to 30, 35 something of our pharmaceutical biolabs are over there. There's a lot of shady, underhanded business dealings that we've been doing with Ukraine since then. There was something that was actually done with a little bit of altering something in that country, and then that was shipped to China. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all that happened over there in Ukraine, where we're trying to unarm our citizens and send our guns over there. Makes no sense. They can, they can protect their borders, but southern border anyway. Apparently, throughout this entire thing, now, let me show this one. 21-year-old Airman Jack Teixeira. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Arrested for Ukraine document leak. From what they're saying in this whole thing is this Air Force member, National Guard, had the same access as people in the Pentagon, where the Pentagon was saying, this is Russian disinformation, don't listen, but yet we're treating this as very, very genuine. I'll never be able to wrap my head around why you're doing that. If it's not genuine, why are you going after this kid? You know,
yeah.
Even especially if it's altered. Okay, you did leak the information. Yeah, I get you. Honestly, okay, you should suffer some consequences for that. But if the information is wrong, why did it take you just 2-3 days to find this kid? I want him to do my laundry in Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it just bothers me that this has moved so fast. We can find, like I was saying earlier, we can find Saddam Hussein in a hole in the ground across the world, but yet we can't find the people who are swatting schools, who are swatting people like Tim Pool, who are swatting all these other, voices on the internet. You can't find out who's doing that, but you can find this dude within a matter of days, and you can find Saddam Hussein in a hole in the ground.
Because they aren't messing up the narrative. When it comes to Tim Pool, they're supporting the narrative. When it comes to Tim Pool, they're like, it's okay, guys. We're just gonna turn the other way here. Yeah, right. It's okay. Like right. I don't know. The corruption is quite honestly insane. I feel very black-pilled after that discussion with Rob. I'm like, our justice system is so horrible. It's so wrecked, and so now I'm sad. But
that's not even the tip of the iceberg that man has gone over.
No, I know, and it's so much worse than that. And that's why I can't think about the size of the federal government. Okay, because I get very overwhelmed of it's too much. We've done too much. It's too big. How do we come back? And then I go down the snowball hill. I don't know what I'm saying.
We push the snowball down the hill and we can't stop it now.
Yeah. We go down the snowball hill. I'm just gonna say that. That's my new saying. So whatever.
Yeah,
At least we don't know.
Davey has a point here. They still don't know who put the bombs in the by the DNC on January 6th or the RNC, which is why AOC was evacuated and she broke protocol hiding in her bathroom, and the police officer that was sent to find her was screaming, "Where is she?" And yeah, all that ridiculous shit she came up with. It was her fault. She broke protocol. But no, they still don't know who did that. All the cameras around these buildings, all that security, and you don't know. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, Ukraine is losing this war. We have spent $200 billion over there, and Zelensky is now saying, hey, your military must come fight now. Your people must fight, because I've been apparently shooting rockets and missiles off to do fireworks for my own citizens, and our air defenses are going to be gone. What? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually happening, people.
Oh, do you want to know something interesting?
What's that?
So like that live stream that we left on my channel, it's already been demonetized.
For what?
Well, it's on limited ads. It just says this video may earn limited or no ad revenue due to content identified as not suitable for most advertisers, which means like I won't, like, no ads will run on it, but you get like YouTube premium, like, memberships, which is like, it's like 2% of like viewers, like nobody, which is weird to me because like I watch so much YouTube, I have to pay for it, so I get ad free, but like some people don't do that. So, but yeah, so like I went and turned on the monetization for it, and just within that like 1 minute, and I didn't lie, I said controversial issues. That was the when the little box
That's what
pops
did it.
up in it. No, like that's normally not something, like you can talk about all kinds of stuff, you just have to do it in a certain way, I guess, appease the YouTube gods. But like most of my stuff doesn't get demonetized, but that one immediately did. And I did a review and it immediately came back as nope.
Well, Butter Podcast here, Ukraine and Russia. Oh yeah, they'll definitely do that. But Ukraine and Russia are not our friends. They have clearly said that they hate guns and the U.S. Why are we sending help to our enemies? We are going to be pincered quicker than drunken bread coming back. Here's the thing. And I know a lot of people don't like this whole thought or anything, but Russia did say that if the people kind of revolted, they'd be behind the people of the United States. It's not really that they hate the U.S. They hate our government. They still love us. I talk to a lot of Russian people. They still love us, even though we're insane and can't decide what bathroom we're using. They still love us. It's just our government. That's the thing. And I tend to agree. Now with Russia and China teaming up, China wouldn't do that. Is that offer still on the table? Because I think France is doing something really good right now. That's all I gotta say. But yeah,
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and unfortunately, Americans are very, which we always are, preoccupied by just the shit going on here. But I feel like, I mean, I know I'm ignorant to a lot of stuff that's going, just because it's so much to keep up with all the time, and it's one of those things. It's like nobody knows what's going on. Okay, nobody knows what's going on in the world, except all of the world knows what's going on here, and that's where we're always have the shit end of the stick, so to speak. I can't think of a better saying. Sorry, guys, but I feel like Americans are so ignorant to what is happening elsewhere, but everybody knows what's happening here, since our goings on are pretty important on the world stage. But it's just kind of frustrating.
Heater Odox, this comment you left, that is exactly what the Restrict Act is for. And that's gaining steam. But yeah,